technical analysis for the week beginning the 12th of August. Start with the dollar index on the daily, bearish ABCD. And so what these green and red lines here, they're inside bars, and I've set them to weekly parameters. So they're weekly inside bars. And what we've got here, see how well we closed? See this line there? We closed above this. So we're above support, we closed above support. And you see if we draw some horizontals, see how that one's there, that held. And we've got one here. These are all supports on here. So I wouldn't be too bearish, the dollar, depending that this one holds. And if we draw a fib there, then we know that we're above the 61.8 as you've seen. So really, this is the 200-day there. Make it a bit thicker perhaps. Right, so we're above that as well, and we're above this weekly inside bar, this one, and we're above this one. So that's the daily. Now the H4 is what I said on Telegram. What I think we're going to do, we're going to follow this shift pitchfork channel. And now that's created from that zigzag high to low, and that's 50% line. That's the mark, that's the halfway mark between that high and that low. And so we get that, connect the highs. See how we've got a channel there. So from there along, So we're in a bullish up channel. And then this line, the shift pitchfork is 50% on that, as I said. See how we're sticking along to this diagonal? This is the 38.2, this is the 61.8. So what I thought was going to happen is that price was going to come down and test the 200-day. We haven't come down there yet. We still can. And note this, that's that line from the daily here. But I think we're going to travel along here, probably chop a lot, up and down, inevitably going up over time. So we've got the 200-day, as I say. I know it's a bearish crab on the H4 and it's a bearish ABCD on the daily, but we have to remember the sentiment as well, because retail would see this and think, oh, this is a good time to sell. And we definitely want to do the opposite of the retail. Well, I don't need to draw a diagonal there, you can see it, but this is the up channel. See, and I think we're going to follow this along, zigzag. That might flatten the 200-day and go up over time. H1 is a bearish crab on the H1. This is what it looks like. Zoom in. So we're below the 200-day, but it's a hourly time frame. Now we've broken the shift pitchfork there, but we're still above this inside week there. We closed above that. So this is the area that will be tested here in the hourly. Half hour. Now, I saw this just now, just going through these before I made the video, and what's happened here, we've made a diagonal break on the half hour chart. High, high, break. So 97.03, that's the support. Now we're broken above that, and then if we rally above the 200-day on the half-hour chart, that's going to be good support. So it looks quite good on the half-hour, and it's a bullish ABCD. Oops, let's delete that. Go left. Oh, there it is. Okay, it's quite far in the past. There we go. A, B, C, D. So that pitchfork descent, break the pitchfork, and break the diagonal too. So that looks quite good. Let's go to the 50-minute. Got the center pitchfork, and we're above the 200-day with a bullish ABCD. Quite erratic, quite spiky. And I think what we're going to do, we're going to break this pitchfork, and we'll have the 200-day support too, and it will go up. So it's not looking too bad for the dollar. Okay, the pound USD, Now this has been an interesting one because I did recommend to sell to quit your short trade, and I did. But it looks like we still can possibly still test this monthly S1 119.49. So this is still not out the realms of possibility at all because we're in a descending pitchfork. We've broken the shift pitchfork. We're below the pivot. So the next logical place is support one. I mean, if you look at it analytically like a robot, if it's broken pivot from above, it has to test support. If it's broken pivot from below, it goes to resistance. Now we're clearly broken below. So this is not out the realms of possibility, I don't think. This is also likely, 117. It seems like a long way away, 113.62. But you look at some pairs and they have tested the support 3 already, and we're only the 11th day in this month. So something to bear in mind. The center pitchfork, definitely. And what I said about the pivot, it's your bias. So this was probably on the cards, to be honest. I saw some news about the Boris Johnson's going to meet the Irish PM. This might help the pound, especially if they get a resolution in the Irish backstop. That might help the pound because there's so much uncertainty at the moment. But that's the daily. H4, there's a bearish Leonardo. They're not that common. I don't see them all that often. See the descent of the pitchfork, and we close below the median line. See this diagonal? There. So there's that. So keep an eye on 12039, H1, bearish ABCD, descend the pitchfork. Oh no, I didn't want to do that. God. Yeah, so bearish ABCD, ABCD, descent. There's that support 1. It looks probably quite feasible, to be honest. Yeah, looks bearish. Half-hour chart, descend the pitchfork, 12035, and we've got a bullish butterfly in there, 15, but we've broken pitchfork there, didn't even hold, and so that's probably going to break too. The pitchfork's quite strong support. Broken the shift pitchfork, those dotted lines. So won't do M5 or 1 minute. Okay, the euro dollar, the euro USD, we're above pivot, and we're above this diagonal, so that's quite bullish. We've got a bullish ABCD, which is quite far in the past. ABCD, that's your buy. So I think what will happen soon, there'll be a new pitchfork created because we've exceeded it quite a distance now. I don't know how it regenerated, the soup does it automatically. H4 is bearish, ABCD. Now we've got a shift channel from that high. So I'm assuming it's that zigzag low there. So we've got in a bearish channel. Something like that. Okay. Yep, so we've got that 61.8 diagonal and 38.2. See how it's pointing down? So that's going to be a test. We are above pivot though, so that's of interest. 111.70. We're in a descending pitchfork, and the main pitchfork up. Yeah. Hourly is a bearish 4-point continuation. So these are quite unusual, these ones. They don't come all that often. There's a bearish sequence on the hourly. Not much to say there, it looks a bit messy. Let's go to the M30. So we're within an up channel on the M30. Likewise, we can see it's a channel low. There's that zigzag high. So we're up, and the main pitchfork is down. So keep an eye on 112.18. Okay, try and zip through these a bit quicker. Hourly, Euro yen, bearish. We've been selling this quite a bit on the spreadsheet on the signals, so we need this to fall. And it looks like it's going to descending pitchfork. Pivots up there. Support 2's here, so we can definitely probably test that. I won't go through the multiple time frames on there. I don't know if it's really that required. Let's go to the Kiwi. Let's go here. Okay, so we're on a bullish ABCD in the daily. ABCD. We're in this diagonal. See, there's that zigzag high. So it's quite fairly bearish below that level. We broke below monthly support 1 on Friday. We do have the support from the bullish ABCD, so we want that to hold. 63.55. So that needs to hold, or we'll come down here logically. So let's go to do the dailies. But I covered the multiple time frames on the pound and the euro. I won't do it for these, just do the dailies. So we've got a bullish ABCD on the dollar yen. We broke support 3. So that's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breaks below. We have recovered on 4 of those 5 attempts above. I note that we closed below on Friday, and there isn't any support below from a pivot perspective. There is a shift pitchfork at 38.2% on the day at 103.32. So keep that in mind. That's the next support, and up. So it's 102.40 there. So it's a bullish ABCD, but we know this is old. So let's have a look at that level. Okay, so it's paramount that 103.53 holds. So we see there's that diagonal, that 38.2 I just mentioned. So 103.32, 103.53. So keep an eye on those two levels. They will need to hold in order for this to remain bullish. So depending it does, that's the sort of the harmonic. But we're so far below pivot now. This is getting quite crazy. Okay, so the gold is an interesting one. It's fully bullish on the daily on the Ichimoku. We might get a TK cross there. If we do, that'll be bullish. These are inside weeks, inside bars, yeah. 2 of them. We're above the Kumo. Trailing price is above Kumo. I go to template, Zoop. And then, so it's interesting. On the daily, we've got a big crab. It's in a pitchfork. The pivot's here. Next month's pivot is 1469. So that would be your bias for September. So we're going, remember the pivot was here in July and the pivot was here in June. So look how we've come leaps and bounds. Huge moves up. So we've got some support here on the resistance down support. And next month this would be the level 2. So we're going to probably track this pitchfork up, unless something, the sentiment really changes and it becomes a big sell. But at the moment it's a buy on the sentiment. But this is a 15-minute video again, so I am going to wrap this up. Thanks for sticking by and watching them. Hopefully they're useful. But what I'll probably do in the future, I'll probably only talk about the daily and weeklies, because if I talk about multiple time frames, this becomes a really long video, and I'll have to cover more pairs as well. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.